What's up, people? In this video, we're going to talk about Vietnam. Okay, I'm going to tell you in this video, well, we're going to go over should you go to Vietnam or not? Is Vietnam worth it on your list of places to go? Okay, now I'm currently in Vietnam. This is my third time in Vietnam. I've spent a long enough time here that I feel that I am qualified to speak on the subject of traveling to Vietnam. Okay. Been to multiple cities, met and interacted with many Vietnamese people and many backpackers who have also come here. And I can tell you right now whether or not it's actually worth your time and your money to come here. Okay, now I will say, before we get into any of this, if somebody gives you a negative review or has a negative response to a country and you want to travel there anyway, go travel there. Like, my opinion is not the be-all, end-all of what you should do, where you should go, how you should live your life. I'm going to give you my experience, which is not unique to me. I don't think. I've read a lot and spoken to a lot of people who've had similar experiences. And I have been to Vietnam 3 times, so there are some reasons to come here. However, let's go with the reasons why you should not come here first. Reason number 1, if you are a foreigner, you will be cheated at, I don't want to say at every opportunity, but frequently. Okay, like, I can't count the amount of times that I've gone into a store to pay for something, given them some money, and not been given change. Have them just completely ignore the fact that I was owed change. Not once, not twice, not 5 times, not 10 times, not only in certain stores. It happens everywhere. Okay, and to be fair, the amount of change that I was owed is, in my experience, has never been more than like 50 cents. Fine, okay, like 50 cents here and there. I've been cheated out of like $20 in Vietnam. It's not a big deal. But it's the principle of being cheated when you really assume that you're going to enter into a fair agreement with somebody to make a purchase from them. That's how capitalism works. That's how civilization is what it is today. Is because people have trusting agreements that I will give you this, you will give me that, and that is what we agreed upon. Not I will give you this, you said you were going to give me that, but actually here's less, and I'm going to ignore your claim that you deserve what I said you should originally get. Anyway, bottom line, you'll be cheated here frequently. Get used to it. Like, maybe some people out there have not had that experience. I've had it. A lot of the stuff I've read on the internet has experienced that. And other people I've spoken to have also had similar experiences. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is common in Southeast Asia. However, I've never seen it anywhere as bad as Vietnam. It's like rampant here, to the point where if it doesn't happen, you're surprised. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, these people are not very friendly. They're not and again, this is not everybody. I'm painting them with a broad brush here. But it is, let's compare it to Thailand, for example, right? If you go to Thailand, frequently you'll walk down the street, even in areas where there's tons of tourists, and people will smile. People will be happy. People will have a fun, easygoing attitude, and they will smile at you and they'll be nice to you for no reason. They don't want anything from you. That's not the case in Vietnam. They do not. It feels like you've wandered into the wrong neighborhood and you do not belong there. They don't like looking at you. They don't want to see you. And I'm a very friendly person. I smile at people on the streets. I'm nice to people who I'll never see again. But they do not. There seems to be some sort of sentiment here against foreigners, which is understandable. Vietnam went through several very brutal wars. I understand, but we're not talking about is there, let's call it, bad attitude justified. We're saying, should you come here and visit this country? Okay, so keep that in mind, that not a lot of people that you see on the street are not going to be particularly happy to see you. Again, not everybody, right? Places like hostels. Basically, hostels and hotels seem to be good, and the people seem to be friendlier. Also have generally a lot more younger people there, so they are also generally more friendly towards Western culture, speak better English, just more open to it. Whereas the older generation, not so much. Okay, that's number 2. And in my opinion, those are really the 2 biggest ones. Okay, if I go to a country, somebody told me a long time ago, it's not where you are or what you're doing, it's who you're with that's important. And if I go to a country that is full of, has a noticeable percentage of rude people who try to cheat you at every transaction, that's not pleasant for me. They can have nice weather and nice beaches and beautiful nature and delicious food. I don't think it's delicious. We'll get to that in a second. but it's not worth it for me. That's just me personally. You might disagree. Okay. Let's talk about the food. I think the food here is very overrated. I don't think it's the best in Asia, as many people have said. I have had good food here, and currently in Nha Trang, which is the city that I'm in right now, I do have one lady who I go to eat with every night. Well, I don't eat with her. I buy food from her that she makes for me. She makes me a banh mi. And I pay a little bit more than the street price because I have like special requests. I ask for more meat. I ask for like an egg on there, and like she really hooks me up. And she's, I can't say that all Vietnamese people are bad because there are some good ones out there. And the thing with Vietnam is like just when you kind of are like cursing the country and the people, and you're like, I hate this place, and like everyone here is bad, you'll meet somebody who's very nice and open and welcoming and happy to talk to you, and you're like, damn it, like I was about to like say that everybody here is terrible, but then you meet this one person who does something nice for you, and you're like, okay, I guess they're not all bad. But regarding the food, I think the food here very overrated. It's not good. I've tried a lot of it. I've tried a lot of the street food. I tried balut. I tried all this corn stuff. I tried these noodles. I tried this rice. I don't think it's anything special. I also like to eat a lot of meat when I eat, and there's virtually no options here for people who like to eat a lot of meat, unless you want to go to an open air market and buy your own meat and cook it. But let's be honest, most travelers are not going to do that. Okay, so I have particular requirements when it comes to eating. I like to eat a lot of meat, a lot of eggs, a lot of protein. That is not particularly common here. So it's a little bit of a challenge, okay? Number 4, let's talk about the scams. Okay, you have lots of, I don't want to say scams, I mean, it's kind of related to the first point of being shortchanged, but you have a lot of things like taxi drivers, right? You have a lot of motorcycle taxis where this happens a lot in Ho Chi Minh. Okay, the first time they got me, straight up, like the dude like passed me on a motorcycle, and they have this like look in their eye like, hey, how are you? Can I help you? It's like kind of crazy look. And I was a little more shy back then maybe, and I was like, yeah, I'm going over here. And like, I don't know, I engaged with him for some reason. And he's like, okay, I'll take you there and I'll pick you up. And I didn't ask him how much, right? And I knew ahead of time, I was like, I should ask this guy how much he's gonna charge me. But anyway, he took me like down the block, literally 5 minutes on a motorcycle. And he's like, I'll wait for you, I'll pick you up and take you back. And he wanted like $15 from me afterwards for nothing, really. And I gave him like, I don't know, I gave him like $10. He's like, give me more. I was like, no, I'm not giving you more, get out of here, right? Again, I can't draw, can't talk about every single person in the country off like my one experience with the motorcycle taxi. But this is something that happens a lot, right? You have this a lot with like actual taxis where they'll like, the meter will be rigged, right? And they'll drive around like aimlessly to like rack up the charges, Fine, it's not a huge deal, really. Like, what is it, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there? For me, it's not really a lot of money. $10 for me is not a lot. $10 for somebody else might be a lot. So like, again, I don't care. It's just the idea that like I'm being cheated at every turn makes you less, like, you want to interact with people less. But again, like, all right, let's talk about pollution. Pollution here is terrible also, right? You have motorbikes everywhere. Motorbikes emit a lot of pollution. Going to the beach, right? I said I'm in Nha Trang. 5 minutes doesn't go by where a giant bag of garbage doesn't wash up on the beach. Otherwise, it's a beautiful beach. It's amazing. It's incredible. One of the nicest beaches I've ever seen, right here. It's like a 5-minute walk from where I'm sitting right now. But there's actually massive bags of garbage that wash up on the beach. Bag full of garbage, really. It's gross. It's disgusting. Things like that. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, why should you go to Vietnam? Really, why should you go here? Well, number one, I think that there are some beautiful spots here that are worth a visit. There's a lot of beautiful nature here, the Mekong Delta, Halong Bay. The cities are interesting. It is another country that you can tick off your list in Asia. I think you should, regardless of what I say, maybe you'll come to Vietnam and you'll love it, and you'll think this is the most amazing country in the world. Maybe. I don't know. My opinion doesn't count for everybody. I think places are worth going to, even if you've heard bad things, right? You shouldn't just take my recommendation for it. So that said, why should you come here? I think there are a few specific reasons why I like it and why I've returned here 3 times. Number one, it's very cheap, okay? Although it's getting more expensive, and with the additional like foreigner tax, let's call it, of being scammed all the time or attempted to be scammed, it's getting more expensive. I would even say Thailand is pretty much cheaper now, especially if you get like a cheap place in Bangkok, like, or even Phuket. Like you can get an apartment there for like $200 a month, and if you buy your food from an open air market, you can live there very cheaply if you want. Vietnam is getting more and more expensive. However, for the time being, it still is very cheap. Mobile data here is very cheap, like $10 a month for like not unlimited data, but plenty of data to do whatever it is that you need to do. Food is cheap, despite what I said, like not my favorite food in the world, but it's cheap. Those 2 sandwiches that I mentioned that I get earlier, I paid less than $5 for 2 like massive sandwiches full of meat that for sure have more than $5 worth of meat in them. Like, I don't know how this lady like makes these for me and charges me so little and actually like makes any money from it. Because if I were to go buy the meat from the market, it's I don't know, I think I pay $10 per kilo, right? Maybe that's the foreigner price, I don't know. $10 for a kilo of beef. I don't know, whatever. It seems fair. Maybe not the cheapest in the world, but it seems like a fair price. And there is a lot of beef in these sandwiches that she gives me. So, and that's cheap. And that's my meal, really. I'll have that, and I'll have some whatever snacks that I have in the store afterwards, because I like edit videos or whatever. It's very cheap here. My rent, I'm currently in a hostel right now, but you can get an apartment here, you know, a studio for $300. You get nicer places for $400, $500, $600, $700. Very cheap, very cheap. My rent currently where I am, $150 a month is what I pay. So you can come here, and this is one of the reasons why I've come back here so frequently. It's because I do a lot of work online, and I'm working on what I consider to be big projects. For example, these videos I consider to be a big project, and I'm trying to keep my expenses low. So I've chosen Vietnam while I work on these things. Okay, so that's another thing. It's cheap. It's good for that if you have something you want to do. Are there better places? Probably. I would say Chiang Mai is probably better. Anywhere in Thailand is really better, honestly. But it's okay here. If you need to renew your visa, or if you want to change a pace, you really can't go wrong with it here. It's fine. What else? What's another reason to come here other than it being cheap? Oh, the gym culture here. Wow. Like, I never really expected this from Vietnam, but the fitness culture here is incredible. Wow. Oh my God. People love working out here. It's amazing. And again, like I said, was not expecting that. Caught me off guard, but people work out very hard here. They train super hard. You go to a gym here and everybody's training really hard. There's none of this like, I don't know. I don't really know how else to explain it. There's always really loud, good, like heart pumping music that's being played. If there are girls in the gym, they always have like the biggest, fattest, most Instagrammable ass you've ever seen in your life. Like, I'm going to the gym later. I want to take pictures of these girls just to show you what we're talking about here. Because these are not Instagram fitness models. These are not famous people or anything. It's just like random Vietnamese girls who train their ass somehow. Like, if they had a booty workout, you would buy it. You would pay $100 for it. They're amazing, incredible, gigantic. And they're all smoking hot. I don't know what it is. Are they like, I don't know who these girls are, but they're so hot, every single one. And the guys work out very hard too. They're not like, I wouldn't say they're chiseled really in the Western sense, but they're all thin. They've got good shoulders, and abs could use a little bit of work, but with 2 days of fasting, they would all have six packs. They're all very lean. So they train super hard here. It's really fun to go to a gym. And the gym that I signed up for a month, for 1 month membership, they've got everything. I paid 500,000 dong, which is about $20, under $25 for 1 month, month to month, to give you an idea. So extremely cheap. What else? Really, honestly, okay, fine. I guess we can talk about like seeing the sights and traveling and stuff like that. The backpacker scene here is pretty good. I would say the backpackers who come here are a little bit more into traveling than your average, let's say, backpacker who goes to Thailand, right? Thailand is kind of everybody's first stop when they go to Asia. It's like, okay, they want to go backpacking in Asia. Where does everybody go? They go to Bangkok, they go to Khao San Road, and then they kind of get their sea legs and then decide what they want to do after being in Thailand for however long they're there. And then maybe their second trip to Asia, they go to Vietnam or whatever, they're backpacking for a couple months and then eventually go to all these other places. People who go to Vietnam is rarely anybody's first choice to go to travel. So the backpackers that come here are a little bit more well-traveled and just a little bit more chill in my experience and laid back. And there are a couple really cool spots in Vietnam that are worth going to if you want to meet a lot of really chill backpackers and have a good time. Ho Chi Minh, I would say probably not the best place, although, you know, it's like Bangkok, probably gonna go there. I really liked Hoi An. Hoi An is very good, and maybe I'll make another video of like the places to go specifically in Vietnam and talk a little bit more about them. But I would say that Hoi An is definitely worth a visit. Da Nang is worth a visit. And I haven't been to Hanoi, okay, so I can't really comment on Hanoi. And there's a couple other cities that I have not been to. Ho Chi Minh, I would say, is skippable, or maybe spend a day or two there. Hoi An, definitely worth a visit. Very cool city. A lot of like just really interesting stuff there. Very cool backpacker scene as well. They've got like an old city. It's kind of like the Chiang Mai of Vietnam, except not as, it's a little bit nicer than Chiang Mai, in my opinion. A little bit more tidied up, a little bit more tourist friendly. Whereas Chiang Mai, except for the Niemen area, which is very tourist friendly or very foreigner friendly, Chiang Mai is not really, I don't know, I didn't really find Chiang Mai I didn't like it so much, to be honest with you. But that's just me, whatever, you know, so it's chocolate and vanilla. Definitely Hoi An is worth a visit, definitely Da Nang is worth a visit. Also the weather in Vietnam is very good. Like, I like the heat. I love being able to wear shorts and a t-shirt year round and flip-flops. That's like my ideal weather. I like to be tan. I don't like to work on my tan. I like to just know that my time spent outside, I'm going to be tan, right? Also the girls here, I think the girls here are beautiful. I think, you know, like, to say nothing of the personality of your average Vietnamese person or attitude towards foreigners, I think the girls here are extremely attractive. I don't know what it is. Or, again, maybe I'm biased based on like the 10 hot girls I see circulating through my gym. Because those girls, oh my god, I really need to like sneak a hidden camera in there or something. But those girls are super hot, wow. But yeah, anyway, Vietnamese girls, like, okay, compared to Thai women, no offense Thai girls out there, but I don't think Thai women are that attractive compared to Vietnamese girls. I think personality-wise, Thais win hands down. But yeah, looks-wise, like Vietnamese girls, I think are cuter. Why else should you come to Vietnam? Oh, coffee. Wow, the coffee here is incredible. Like, you see me sipping on this, right? This coffee, incredible. Love this shit. I got addicted to coffee in Vietnam. Okay, I used to be very good. I'd have 1 cup a day. Okay, I'd have my 1 cup in the morning, evacuate my bowels, move on with my day, and that was it. Since coming to Vietnam last year, I cannot go like 3 hours without having a cup of coffee. And here it's incredible and cheap. I think for this I paid like $1, right? For this like giant glass of like amazing coffee, where at Starbucks like $4.50. So really what I do, I come to a cafe in the morning, have my first cup of coffee, and then every 3 hours I'll have another cup. And I'll do this until maybe mid-afternoon, early afternoon, go home, work on some like internet stuff, and then go to the gym at night and eat. But the point is that I can stay at a cafe all day, spend like $3 or $4, have some of the best coffee I've ever had, really. I'm not a coffee snob either. Coffee was like a necessary evil for me to work and wake up and take my morning shit, really. But here it's gives you a new appreciation for coffee. I also like a lot of sugar, so whatever. I like things sweet. Make sure don't get it with the condensed milk. That will ruin your stomach for like the entire day. Just, you have to ask for fresh milk. Coffee's really good. What else is really good here? I don't know. I mean, I guess the internet is fast on average. Like, every cafe that I've gone to, they've got average internet speed of about 20-ish megabytes per second, which is very fast on average for like public Wi-Fi, which is good if you work online. And yeah, that's really it. So again, like I said, it depends on why you come here. If you're coming here to see the sights and you want to see like all, you know, Halong Bay, Mekong Delta, like all the like war stuff, you want to come and do your like week or two here, fine, that's okay, do your thing. But if you're thinking of taking like an extended trip here or moving here for a month or 2 or 3 for the purpose of like working on something, I would encourage you to not, really, honestly, unless you like are prepared to deal with that. In my opinion, you know, Thailand is just superior for the reasons I listed. It's arguably cheaper, the food is better, the people are nicer, and you're much less likely to get ripped off like at every turn. Okay, so that was my video on this lovely country that I have been in for about 3 weeks now. We'll probably spend another month-ish here, roughly, thereabouts, depending on how sick of it I get. But yeah, that's it. What did you guys think of that? Again, no offense to any Vietnamese people who watch my channel. Like, I love you all. This is just my experience. But anyway, what do you think of that? Have you been to Vietnam? What do you think about Vietnam? Do you like it? Am I totally wrong? Am I a racist asshole? Or am I right? Let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.